We go on now, Secretary Simat.
Thank you, Senator. My second concern is that the old Boracay map reveals that there used to be 9 wetlands in the island. 9 wetlands. Now we can only account for 4. We found out that these remaining wetlands contribute to the water pollution, and at the same time, we noted the presence of about 100 informal settlers in the wetlands. We issued show cause orders and notices of violations and advised them to demolish voluntarily as they contribute to the pollution of the beach. Wetlands
Are
must...
you, Secretary, are you going to reclaim the 9 wetlands, or we will just be left with the 4?
We will try to reclaim, Your Honor, because they must be restored to act as the catchment during rainy days and prevent flooding, Your Honor. We will check. There are some already covered with buildings, but well, we will require them to explain why they have that building there, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, siguro, Secretary, can you name yung 5 wetlands na hindi na siya wetland? At di ba kung ano na siya ngayon?
We don't have names yet on the wetlands, Your Honor, but we put them 1 to 3. Is here?
For example, Secretary, yung wetland, kasi sabi niya parang by numbers, yung wetland number 1, ano na ba siya? Hotel, mall, restaurant?
Yes, ma'am. This is the old one. Now, if you look at the present, yung mga wetland na ubos, na kuberan na. Ito yung... please show the old one in 2008. Please show the 2008 satellite. This is the 2008. Now, the 2018. Nawala na po, nakuberan na. So, we'll check po yung what particular buildings this.
Secretary, Madam Chair, may I ask the question? Kasi ito ay areas like wetlands, these are forestal lands under your jurisdiction. Saan sa tingin mo nagka-problema dito? Ba't nagkaganito? Let's call a spade a spade. This is a fact-finding mission. Please tell us what went wrong. Who's at fault that you think here? It cannot just have magically sprouted at night. Somebody must have given the permits. Was it the local government? Was it the planning officers? Can we know? Or local DNR? Sino pa po ang may kasalanan nito?
No building can be made there without a permit, Your Honor, and they cannot even allow transportation of construction material without a permit. So it must be in the local government, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, with the permission of Senator Zubiri,
We recognize
Yes.
Senator Lor.
it's very clear that it's just in a span of 10 years. All of us in this room perhaps were alive within those 10 years, and we were senators then. From 2008 to 2018, may we therefore request from the DNR to submit to the committees represented here, namely Environment, Finance, Labor and Local Government, and Tourism, the 9 wetlands, the scope of the wetlands in 2008 when there was no establishment yet. Who are the settlers, encroachers in the wetland? Who were the DNR regional director and Penro during the time? Who were the local government officials or the barangay captain or municipal mayor? The 3 barangay captains and the municipal mayor of Malay Aklan. Wala pong personalan, it's a fact-finding mission, and let the chips fall where it will, where it may. And so, Mr. Secretary, magkaibigan po tayo, laki respeto ko sa inyo bilang general, alam natin na hindi po to, at mahal na mahal kong DNR, pero stricto din ako sa inyo. Hindi to mangyayari kung hindi binigyan ng suporta o kapabayaan ng DENR. Kayong mga karir na nandyan, sabi nga ni General Simatu, paano makakarating ang plywood at pako kung hindi pinayagan ng lokal na pamahalaan? Paano magkakaroon ng papeles o titulo o tax deck ang mga establishment na nakatayo sa wetland na dapat ay wetland kung hindi binigyan ng DNR? So, dapat managot ang DNR dyan. I love you, DNR. And you know, when I talk in hearings, I am like this. I'm sorry, I just have to say this. And so, when we find out who is responsible, then you will explain in the Senate, kung naipit kayo and you had to do it, then you have to do it. We just want to know why it happens. And mind you, this is not the first time it's happening in Boracay. Even Metro Manila, I've investigated that. Kaya tayo bumaba dahil mga esteros natin ay puro na mga building. So this is just the beginning of many other possible investigations, even in Manila Bay and Pasig River and many others where there's already an environmental catastrophe in our country. So, yun po lang ang hinihingi ko, Secretary Simatu, after which, Madam Chair, I have questions relating to the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act especially, and the Ecological Solid Waste Management, closest to my heart, kasi hindi po nyo na itatanong, yun po, ako po ang principal author ng mga batas na ito sa aking unang termino. Kaya masakit, bilang third-term senator at 20 years na sa Senado, ay hindi napapatupad ang mga pakay ng ating batas na ginawa ko mula 1998. But I will go to that later. In the meantime, I know that the chair's advocacy is wetland and protected areas. Shared advocacy yan. Yun lang pong hihilingin natin. Bakit hinayaan, pinayagan ng DNR na magkaroon ng gusali, maski babahay kubo, sa wetland sa nakaraang 10 taon. RD, magkaibigan tayo, magkarehiyon tayo. Pero dapat natin malaman bakit nagkaganon. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Before I...
Madam Chair, can I interact on that?
may respond to that. Before I give the mic to the regional director here that can respond to it. We're saying now that there was no permit, there was no document for the occupant of that building. That's no.
Very good news. So please demolish them.
Yes, yes.
I mean, how can anyone build a building or a house or a toothpick there if there is no permit? So General Anyo can demolish them.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
That's what we are.
Yes.
That's what we are
They're
recommending.
destroying the national jewel. Yes.
Let us find out, Madam Chair, when did you found out that there are already buildings there?
Let me answer that to Your Honor. When I assumed as DNR, there was no office of the DNR here. They abolish it here in Boracay.
Abolish it.
I don't know, Your Honor, but the first thing I did is to restore it. That's why this is a new restoration, Your Honor. And I would like to make that in record, Your Honor.
Tika, wala. Hindi po. Ang Tenro, sakop po ang Malay.
Yes.
Ang Senro ng Malay, sakop ang 3 barangay ng Boracay. So how can we say walang opisina? Maaring opisina na sa mainland, pero ang jurisdiction po ay sakop po ito. Maaring physical walang opisina, pero hindi pwedeng wild west. At wala kaming pakialam dyan, hindi po pwedeng ganun.
Let me answer again, Your Honor.
Arisimato, I think your regional director can explain how it was abolished.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair, Your Honors. Na-abolish po itong ating sendro dito, Sendro Malay, naging pendro na lang ho ang working pendro dito sa noong 2013 during the reorganization plan.
Who made the reorganization plan?
Yung national po ito, rationalization plan. Sorry.
Rationalization plan. Who made that?
It was during the time of the former president. Your Honor.
Rationalization plan, why Senro in particular? What is the
Actually-
provision of the rationalization, why it was abolished? What happened?
Actually, it was not only Boracay that was abolished. There were many centros in the Philippines, in the archipelago, who were abolished. I do not know what are the reasons, maybe duplication of work or whatever, but it was Manila who was planned and decided all of this.
So it was abolished, what was working? If they abolish the Senro, what will be working?
Yeah,
Penro.
Dependo was the one doing the job.
Meron
Your
pa rin
Honor.
Penro.
Madam Chair.
Oh, did Penro do its job?
I suppose he did it, but it is not enough.
Madam Chair, may I interject? Kasi violations ito ng mga batas sa
705,
RD. So, ibig niyo po sabihin, nagsubok ba ang inyong sakop na Penro na pumasok dito, point out the violations, at least at the very least report to National Office? Yes or no?
When I reported here, I observed that there were building here already there in those areas. I instructed the Penro to issue cease and desist order, and he did. But nobody heeded because yun na nga, the DNR has no teeth to do their job.
I think when you have, from my readings, if you want to build something in Boracay, you both get a DNR permit and a local government permit. It's an ECC. It's not only the local government who can give the permit, but also the DNR. It's both permit. Am I correct?
Yes, for protected areas, but for purposes of Boracay, we were talking with Attorney Luna. It's for forest protection. We cannot issue already here Plug T because the area is for protection. So walang dapat na nakatira dyan sa bundok na yan. Walang dapat kung sino man dyan
So,
dapat ibahin.
halimbawa, nagkulang ang local government, bakit nawala rin yung responsibility ng DNR? Kasi dalawa ang magbibigay ng permit. If they're not getting permit from you, then you must have done something to stop it.
We did, but I think it was not enough because that's why I told
Why
you.
is it not enough? You can go to court
Yeah.
and force them to do
Actually-
it. Why are you not going to court?
That was my plan.
was
Before, that was my plan. And in fact, we met with all these people. We have we met with all of these people. Talagang matigas lang po ang ulo nila.
Alam mo kami sa amin sa Las Piñas, iti-take over yung aming wetland. Nag-file kami sa Supreme Court, petition for writ of kalikasan. Ginawa namin yun, hindi sila naka-take over. So it's just a matter of political will. And nakakatawa ang kalaban namin noon, DNR.
Ma'am, inabuta.
Gusto mag-take over ng wetland.
Yeah.
No, ibibigay nila sa private developer. Kami lumaban, the citizen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sama tayo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Madam
is the
Chair.
Penro here?
The Penro is around. You just acknowledge him.
Oh, ano
Madam
ang
Chair.
masasabi mo, Penro?
Actually, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
He is only newly is installed because the old Penros is already dismissed by Ombudsman. Kaya ang bagong Penro ngayon si bago
Were you the one who filed it, the case in the
Was
ombudsman?
dismissed by the
Meron-
ombudsman?
iba namang kaso yun, sir.
Not the Boracay case.
It's not the Boracay.
Madam Chair, just for administrative, Madam Chair, just for administrative.
Yeah.
Just to put on record, and
Wala
perhaps
kang
if we
problema.
can get the documents being mentioned by our regional director, na you issued a cease and desist order, perhaps you have notified the local government officials,
Yes.
etc. We wanted to have that record.
Yes, sir.
Again, because this is a fact-finding committee, we wanted to find out what really happened, what really transpired, and we are so eager to hear also the local government side. Because again, ayaw natin yung maling mensahe na mapakita rito, you build buildings, tapos you ask for permit. Parang ganun yung nangyayari. Kaya ayaw natin yun, no? just to put on record, Madam Chair, so if we can get all these documents from the regional director.
By all means, sir.
Maybe, Madam
Just
Chair.
want to ask the secretary, if for example, I just want to ask if, let's say there's a building in Boracay and they got a LGU permit and they did not get any permit from you, what do you do?
Your Honor, the option that we will do is to issue, to bring the case into the court. And that is what I am going to do now. After this, I've seen the wetlands there. And these wetlands are the culprit, one of the culprit in this pollution. Because one of the wetland there, there are about several, probably about 100 settlers so are beside the wetland, and they are of course in their restroom. They just probably along the wetland, so that goes to the dagat. Ito na yung E. coli. Ito na yun. So I brought this problem, Your Honor, because I would like to get rid of these illegal settlers in the wetland. I have to restore the wetland, Your Honor.
Even if the local government would agree with it, you have a legal remedy that you can stop the project, the DNR.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we just want to make sure na we can do it. Kasi, alam mo, ang mga local government, kasi mga politiko sila, takot sila sa mga tao eh. Kasi tingin nila, pag inaaway nila mga tao, mawawalan sila ng boto. Oo. Kaya, it's the responsibility really of the national government to put a stop to this. And the local government naman, pag yung national government nyo, nag-i-implement ng batas, gawin nyo na yung reason para makalusot kayo. Sabihin nyo, wala kami magagawa dyan. It's the law. And the national government is implementing this, so tahimik na lang kayo para wag kayo madama yung politika nyo. Kasi alam ko, yung mga local government, takot na takot sila sa mga tao kasi palaging iniisip nila yung kanilang boto. Di ba? So it's the national government, the department who should be implementing this. Otherwise, nobody will implement this. I'm speaking from experience. I come from a local government. Duwag na duwag sila sa local government. Tingin nila, everything they do, mawawalan sila ng boto. Kaya kayo, na national government, kayong mag-implement kasi wala naman kayo pakialam, di naman kayo kakandidato, di ba? Oh, so, kung magalit sila sa inyo, okay lang. Kasi wala namang kakandidato sa inyo eh, di ba? Okay. Okay, so we recognize Senator Subiri, Senator Ligarda.
Tatapusin ko lang po yung tanong ko. Sa 9 wetlands na na-identify po nyo noong 2008, ngayon po ay 5, sabi nyo, ang nananatili.
Apat, ma'am.
So 5 po ang na-take over ng encroachers or settlers na tinatawag po natin. At yun po ang ating pinapasumite. Pero sa inyong pagkaalam po, ito ba ay informal settlers or malalaking mga gusali at mga negosyante or combination of both? And can you just name please, ano pong mga hotel, restaurant, mall, kung meron man, wag lang yung maliliit na tao na informal settlers, pero kung sino rin po ang mga naglagay ng gusali doon. At sa pagkaintindi ko po kay RD 6, na ni isang papel o permit, wala pong binigay ang DNR. Sana po totoo yun, kasi malalaman po natin. Ibig sabihin po, na tama si Senator Villar, si Chairman, na maski nagbigay, assuming nagbigay, kung sino man yung LGU nagbigay ng permit, kung wala talagang binigay na maski anong permit ang DNR for the occupation of the 5 occupied wetlands, so that is totally illegal. Because the wetlands is an ecosystem in itself. O ang mga isda, ang mangroves, ang lahat ng mga, hindi mabubuhay ang ecosystem kung pinapatay at tinatabunan. Kaya, siguro naman by now, 10 taon po yan, ay si RD, ay meron po kayong ideya kung sino po ang naka-encroach sa inyong wetland. O, can you put it on record? Sino po sila? Pakisabi po ngayon.
Ma'am.
How can we not know in 10 years? Dito kayo reunion po nyo yun Penro should talk or RD. Opo, can you put on record, sino po ang encroacher sa 5 wetland?
Yes, ma'am. Magandang hapon po.
Baka nasa wetland
Perhaps
tayo
to make
ngayon,
it
hindi naman
easier,
siguro.
sino yung inisyuhan nila ng notice of violation? To make it easier.
Yes, sir.
I think.
After the approval of the Presidential Proclamation 1064, delineating the island of Boracay into forest land and alienable, indisposable, or agricultural, we conducted an inventory, those residing in the forest zone. As of now, we were able to gather data of 842 living within the forest zone. This includes temporary, permanent structure, buildings. We can provide you the data, Your
Is it
Honor.
842?
Senator Lauren wants names, yung malalaki,
Yes.
yung names ng malalaki.
Yes.
Po, maliwanag, iba yung forest land, iba yung wetland. Let's
Yeah.
go to the wetland first. Wag nating ginugulo.
The-
Alam ko po na ang nag-violate sa forest land, mamaya na, meron kayong 92 establishments violators ng clean water, meron kayong 78 violators ng clean air, meron kayong 4 na violators ng clean air at clean water, meron kayong 7 establishments violator ng PD 1586 at 39 multiple violations. I have the record since November, the notice of violations. We'll go to that later. Let's simplify. 9 wetlands. Sabi po ni Secretary ay 4 na lang. Yung 5 wetland. Wag puro yung mahihirap na sabi niyong squatter, settler, etc. Sige, we will deal with them later. Sino ang blatantly na walang paalam, permit, papel daw, sa 10 taon sa DNR, kung talagang walang inisyu maski sinong nilalang sa DNR, sino po ang nandun? Example lang, gusto po namin malaman. Baka naman nakatira kami sa isang resort na nandun. Na wag na po kami pupunta ron. Ganun lang po. Just name one. You are the Penro. I am certain, sir, that you would know Boracay like the palm of your hand. Thank you. Nakikinig po kami.
A minute, ma'am. I will get the list of the structures and establishment wetland. Ang wetland po, part siya ng forest zone.
Madam Chair,
Ng
siguro,
5.
Ito po, maliwanag po. We know that the wetlands are part of a forest land. Wetlands are covered by the Wildlife Protection Act, RA 9147. Wag po na natin tinetechnical po ito. Hinihingi lang po ng inyong komite sa 9 wetlands, sabi po ni Secretary, ay 4 na lang po. 5 po ang wetland, 5 po ang nasakop na ng encroachers. Gusto lang po namin makaalam, educate us, sir, sino po ang encroacher. Siguro naman ay may alam po kayong iisa o dalawa. Kung hindi, ay hahabaan natin investigasyon, pupuntahan natin. Gusto lang po namin malaman. Penro po kayo, alam po ninyo yan eh. Thank you, sir.
Madam
Sample,
Chair,
ma'am. Alta Vista. May encroachment sa forest zone. Alta Vista.
Nasabi nyo, ang mga wetland na to, hindi po binigyan ng maski sinong sekretaryo at ni RD.
Let me
ng
correct it, ma'am.
Wala pong
Seven
titulo.
Seas.
Ano?
Wetland 7 Seas. Ongoing construction. Yeah.
Is it a hotel or resort, sir? It's a under construction resort hotel?
Under construction in Barangay Apak, Boracay Island.
Yung Alta Vista.
Hindi, 7 Seas.
7 Seas. What about the Alta Vista that you were talking about?
Bibigay ko po ng listing.
Madam Chair, siguro for clarification lang, yung nabanggit nyo ho na hotel, nasa wetland ho ngayon. Tama po ba?
Oh, under construction yung 7 Seas. Nasa wetland.
Pero under construction pa ho yan eh. Yung iba pa hong wetland, meron pa ho ba doon na may existing na hotel or restaurant?
Sige ma'am, ang the mall, ang tawag natin, the mall, part ng wetland din yan.
So ang the mall po is part of the wetland.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Recognize Senator, Secretary Simatu.
Another one very noted is the Kingfisher. This is a big one.
Kingfisher.
Yes, they are situated in a wetland, but they are claiming that it's A and D. But it is wetland. Very clear, it's wetland.
So we have in the list Seven Seas, The Mall, and Kingfisher. Yung Alta Vista, ni-remove mo na?
Hindi pa.
O kasali pa rin?
Falls sila within the forest land but not in the wetland.
Not in the wetland. Forest land, ang Alta Vista. Wala na kayong alam na iba?
Madam Chair, may
Madam
tatanong din ako sa kanya.
Right.
Pero katulad nito, RD, for example, yung pinakita kanina sa video ninyo ng DNR, yung West Grove. West Grove yata yun eh. Itong West Cove Resort. Paano nakatayo sila doon sa taas ng
Sa
coral
rock formation.
structure? Na rock structure, coral reef structure at rock formations. Di ba, from the very beginning, ba't ngayon nyo lang natanggal yun? Dapat, hindi, well, they're breaking it apart.
Well, it's still in
But
operation,
just now,
Senator Subiri.
why were we able to tolerate that, Penro, for the longest time? And any other similar structure? Paano sila nabigyan ng permit?
Actually,
para
I
magtayo
already issued show cause order to Wiscove. Pasensya kayo, Your Honor, I reported because of this Boracay problem. I was designated by Regional Director James Sapurna last February 14 to help solve the Boracay problem.
Pero ang tanong po, Senator Subiri, sa nakaraang ilang taon po, paano po sila nakatayo ng napaka-massive na struktura sa corals po? Una, bakit may building permit? Bakit sa rock formation? Bakit ngayon lang tinitibag na nandyan na si General Simato? RD, paano po nangyari yan? Mayor's permit, business permit, occupancy permit, BIR registration, DNR registration, meron bang ECC? Ano nangyari? Meron silang flag T. Oh, pero ang Supreme Court, alam ko, nag-rule na in the favor of DNR or against the West Cove. Bakit hindi tibagin yung buo? Bakit yung nasa coral lang? Eh kung mali, bakit nag-ooperate pa hanggang ngayon? Yun ang tanong ni Senator Binay. Wala rin accreditation. So, why do these things blatantly happen in our country? We are a country of laws. We have laws.
To my colleagues,
Because if we do not resolve this, I'm sorry, if we do not resolve this, anybody will just build in any wetland, in any forest land, in any protected area. Wild, Wild West na po tayo. So what are we enacting?
Madam Chair, meron din ho kasi akong alam. Gusto kong mag-interact nga ho doon.
May I hear the answer?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I may, because this is in connection with the previous questions, if we can ask Penro to give us a copy of the listing ho, na binigyan nyo na ng notice, that these are already violators. Bigyan nyo ho kami ng list, Madam, para lang may list tayo na binigyan na ng notice, violator na sila, binigyan na ng notice ng DENR. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Representative Marquez would like to make a
Yes,
comment.
thank you very much, Madam Chair. Una-una ako po'y nagpapasalamat sa inyo, Madam Chair. Dahil naimbitahan niyo ako dito, nakasisibo ako ng formal letter of invitation na dumala ngayong hapon na ito sa hearing na ito. To shed light also on what I know. Totoo po yun, na nung araw, meron tayong 9 sinasabing catch basin or wetland. Ito pong wetland na ito, ay proteksyon natin ito pag umulan ng malakas, may bagyo. Dito naiipon dapat ang tubig baha. Ito po ang catch basin natin. Natural catch basin ho ang tawag noon. Ngayon po, masasabi ko ito dahil ako ay gobernador noong araw. Ako po ay utosan dito ng lalawigan ng Aklan. Noong araw, sa panahon ko, tandang-tanda ko po yon na meron kami isinerve na cease and desist order sa isang property dyan, wetland ang tawag, sa isang property sa Balabag. At kasama ko rito nag-serve ay ang presidente noong araw ng BFI at may media pan taga ABS-CBN. Sa order, kautusan po yon ni Secretary then Atienza. Okay. Hindi po, dito po sa Balabag, sasabihin ko ngayon, dahil hindi mo naman ako, katulad ako ni Senator Ligarda, na prangka din po ako. Sasabihin ko sa inyo na yung nung araw, yun ay illegal, pero ngayon naging legal. At iyon hong nakatayo doon na struktura, ay pangangalanan ko rin ho, na Crown Regency ho yun. Isang malaking hotel ho yun. Now, bakit ho naging legal? Kinaso ho ito ng kagalang-galang Secretary Atienza din. At sila ang kinaso, ang DENR. Nanalo po sila sapagkat ang kinaso nga nila, nagkaroon ng technicality problem dito, ay wetland, samantalang sa mapa, wala ho forest land So, ang kiniklaim natin ay wetland, pero actually, sa description, sa property, forest land. Kaya natalo on technicality. Ang DENR po, masasabi ko, legal ngayon sila. Natalo sa korte. Technicality. Sapagkat, ang ikinaso ay occupying the wetland, which is bawal. Yung pala sa deklarasyon ay forest land.
Madam Chairman,
Court decision o yun
yes, Madam Chairman, but even in forest land, like say, Bukidnon, hindi naman po tayo pwede maglagay sa hotel sa taas ng Mount Kitanglad because that's under the jurisdiction of the DENR.
Supposedly nga ho.
Yes po. So, but my question now, fundamental question is, titled na ba ito mga lupa na ito?
Wala nga ho
Wala
Kaya
nga,
nga napapile pala tayo ng bill. Incidentally, the other day nag-file ako ng bill, yun nga to put order in the island of Boracay regarding the position of these land holdings. Ito po ay refiled bill na pinile nito nung panahon ni Congressman Miraflores at panahon ni refile nung 16 Congress ni Congressman Ted Arisco at ni-refile ko ngayon at sa kabutiang palad nung isang araw ay nag-hearing kami at inaprubahan na sa committee level. Ang problema nito, siyempre darating papunta ito sa Senado, pero meron ding the same bill na pinile si Senator Trillanes. At ito binigay sa akin ng folder na ito sa opisina ni Senator Villar.
Mr. Chairman of Committee on Trade and Industry.
In relation to Proclamation 1064 po.
Yes, as Chairman of the Committee on Trade and Industry, of course, gusto po natin manatili ang mga resorts at hotels dito. We want trade and industry and commerce to continue. But at the same time, we also have to be very careful that we do not legitimize yung mali. Di ba po?
Precisely.
Kasi, okay, we give them all their titles, baka they're entitled naman. And they will say that they will no longer follow the laws mandated by, that we have passed in prior to protect the environment and the water and air and the solid waste of this area. So kaya pinag-aaralan namin na mabuti yan, Your Honor. Pero I'd like to ask the local government, if we may, maybe we are barking on the wrong tree here. I think now they're doing a cleanup, tinanggal na yung penno dun, pero maybe to add what Senator Joel has said, could you come up with the timelines? Sino ba na penro na yon? Sino ba at the time na nag-issue ng mga permits na yan, yung mga ECC na yan? At kailangan natin ng mapa, yung ating geomapping na tawag dito, yung satellite mapping. From that time to now, encircle the establishments, name the names, para alam po ng ating komitiba, at para ma-investigahan po natin at magawa natin ng solution in terms of legislation. But I think we should start asking also now, yes, after maybe we can start also asking the local government. Because tinanong kanina ni Senator Lawrence, sino nagbigay ng business permit? A business permit is a function of the local government. Sino nagbigay ng occupancy permit? That is a function of local government. Diba? Sino nagbigay ng mayor's permit? Siyempre, mayor's office yan. So,
Your
maybe,
Honor, may I? In compliance to your request, we will download you the list of all forest occupants within Boracay Island, including the wetlands.
And the forest land and the wetlands.
And the wetlands, ma'am.
Yung inisyuhan nyo po ng violation, notice of
That's
violation.
the main reason why I issued a show cause order, for them to explain why and what are the available documents sa kanila.
Now
A total of 842 establishment temporary permit were issued as show cause order.
May I, Madam Chair? May I?
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, medyo gusto ko lang maklarify, yung forest land, isn't it should still be a protected land that is inalienable? Okay, just to be clear, no? Siguro, let's have a clear example, as Senator Ligarda mentioned a while ago. Ito pong very famous ito, napanood na natin sa TV, itong West Cove. Nakita ho natin yung rock formation, etc. Kanina nagbanggit si Secretary Simato na paanong dadalin yung mga construction materials, nagtayo ng building po doon sa ilang mga lugar kung walang permit na ini-issue ang local government. Siguro let's just have one example. Ito nga West Cove for instance. Sir, sa Penro, nag-issue kayo dito ng violation, no, dito sa West Cove nung na-discover nyo, I don't know for how long, nung natayo na yung sa rock formation. Kayo po, sa regional director, is it, nag-issue kayo, di ba, sir?
Bago lang po siya dito.
Opo, okay, kayo po.
At saka po, hindi ko rin inabutan yan, but looking at the record, na-issuean po yan ng plug T ng 998 square meters. Now,
Anong year po yun?
siguro mga wala pa ako dito noon eh. Hindi ko sure ang kanya, pero 2008.
At yun sa time.
Attention time, yes, attention time.
2008, and just for the record, ang flag T means Forest Land Use Agreement for tourism purposes.
Forest land, FLUP yun. Forest land agreement for tourism. Yes, for tourism. So it was issued a plug T by the former Secretary Atienza.
How many square meters again, sir?
998 square meters.
998 square meters.
And we came out to investigate it, and we found out after a year or two, when I came in, nakita namin sir na mga 3,000 plus square meters yung dinevelop niya. That's why lumaki yun, which is a violation of the plug T agreement.
Okay, what did you do, sir?
So, na-cancel po yung plug T niya na 998.
This was when? 2015 na po. After several years of operation.
Yes.
Okay, ho.
Ganyan po.
Tapos, so, ano pong nangyari? So, dinimanda ho kayo ngayon.
Hindi po. Ang nangyari po, the Secretary has issued, during the time of Secretary Pahe, pumirma po siya ng cancellation order. But it was not him who signed it. It was the Undersecretary for Field Operation then, who was given the authority to sign. So, nag-appeal po si Chris Aquino, yung may-ari, sa Office of the President. Hanggang ngayon...
That's the name of the owner, sir? What's his
yes,
name? Sorry.
Crisostomo.
For clarification, no, baka mapagkamalang kapatid ng dating
Hindi,
president.
Baka mamaya.
Lalaki po to,
Crisostomo
lalaki po.
Aquino.
Crisostomo Aquino.
It's not Chris Aquino.
It's not
okay,
Chris.
please,
Lalaki po to,
just to
sir.
make sure.
Maganda naman si Chris.
Opo. We all agree with that. Ano nangyari?
So, it's now pending still with the Office of the President. So, hindi rin kami makamove dahil...
Teka lang ho.
It's
Bakit
on
ho
appeal.
Office of the President? May in-issue, meron akong dokumento yung sa in-issue ng Supreme Court. Hindi ho ba kinatigan ang DENR doon sa issue na yan? Meron po ako, gusto kong...
Hindi ko, the last thing that I know is it is still with the Office of the President. Nag-appeal po sila.
Pag
Inappeal
baho, nanalo ka sa Supreme Court, maia-appeal pa sa
That's-
Office of the
no, no.
President.
It's not the Supreme Court that issued. It was, ang inappeal po niya, yung cancellation ni Secretary, yung DNR to the Office of the President. It is appealable to the Office of the President. Yung action of the Secretary is appealable to the Office of the President.
RD, aren't you aware of the Supreme Court decision, RD?
There is nothing to appeal because the Supreme Court already acted and resolved it and said that, that the decision canceling the flag T is valid.
No, yung according to the lawyer na alam niyang kaso, sir, yung nasa Supreme Court daw, yung order of demolition of the LGU. Hindi yung cancellation order. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
For the record, is this, yung West Cove still existing?
I think so.
Operating?
Yes.
Now we talk to the LGU. Mayor, do they have mayor's permit, business permit, occupational permit, etc.?
Hindi po tayo nakapag-issue ng building permits and business permit to operate because yan nga merong appeal ito, the Office of the President, and yun, it's a Supreme Court.
The appeal, Mayor, the appeal, as mentioned a while ago by DENR, is on the issuance of flag T,
Yeah.
not the
Not the business or
not the demolition na pinagdesisyonan na po ng Korte Suprema. So there's no appeal to speak with, Madam Chair. So right now, we are still so confused if this is happening. Sino pa ho yung respeto doon sa mga panuntunan natin, lalo na sa mga environmental laws na gusto nating ipatupad, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, siguro to complete yung mga permits, yung DOTU ba nag-issue ng permit dito sa West Coast?
Hindi naman kailangan yan.
So wala rin tong accreditation.
Wala yan?
So there's no accreditation from
There's
DOT.
no need because it's not mandatory.
I-clarify po natin itong issue ng West Cove. Sabi po ng LGU Malay, Mayor, ay wala po kayong ini-issue na maski anong permit sa construction or sa operation po ng business sa
hindi
West
nyo
Cove.
pasara?
Wala po.
Meron po akong ano ngayon sa demolition order to demolish the
Okay.
the
Ang
West Cove.
tanong ko
Yeah.
po ay may nakatayo yung struktura, wala po kayong binigay na
Oh,
building permit.
wala na.
So illegal po yung kanyang building. Pangalawa po ay wala rin po kayong binigay na business permit pero siya po yung nag-ooperate. Ganun ba ho, Mayor?
Yeah, wala
Okay.
tayong ibinigay na business
Salamat
permit
po
to
na hindi
operate.
kayo nagbigay. So, illegal po yung construction at illegal din yung pag-operate ng business. Tama ba ho, Mayor? Okay.
Tama po yun.
Si DNR naman po ay nagbigay ng flag T sa 998 pero nag-expand to 3,000 at kinensela ang buong 3,000 na flag T. So, wala na siyang flag T dapat. That whoever individual or building has no reason to exist there because it's canceled. And that is appealed in the office of the President. Which President? Arroyo, Aquino, Duterte? Malay natin, nakapending sa ilang Pangulo, tapos nadidribo lang dun. I don't think it's in the office of President Duterte. Maybe previous president. O previous president. So, wala na yun. So, we call on the office of the president to act on it immediately. So that there's no reason. Walang LGU permit, walang DNR permit. Tapos sa OP, kanselahin. O di, meron tayong forest dyan. At wala na yung West Cove na yan. Hindi ko pa nakikita. Nothing personal. I don't even know who owns that. Okay. Ngayon po, yung Supreme Court nag-rule naman in favor of DNR. Diba? Sa inyong demolition. So, everything is actually in your court na sinasang-ayunan po kayo ng Korte Suprema. Ang pinanghahawakan lang po ng West Cove ay nakapending sa Office of the President. Wala siyang LGU permit wala siyang DNR permit, kinansela nga niya yung flag T natalo pa siya sa Korte Suprema. So bakit ang lakas-lakas ng loob o ang tapang-tapang? Kasi kung hahayaan natin ang isang ganyan, sabi nga ni Senator Joel, we're giving the wrong signal that violators can just violate LGU policies and national government agencies policies and get away with it. So I think kailangan tayong mag-example dito para all other encroachers on forest land and or wetlands will not get away with murder, so to speak. I'm sure General Simato knows what I'm talking about. Yes. Thank you.
Madam Chair, may tatanungin lang sana ako sa LGU. Mayor, kasi ako businessman din ako. I have my own businesses. We cannot operate without the mayor's permit. As far as I know. How can
Yes.
they operate without the mayor's permit, sir? Even if they're appealing to the office of the president, that has no right for any establishment to operate. Without the mayor's permit, you cannot operate. Di ba? Shutdown dapat yung status, no?
Yeah, dapat i-close natin yan. So, ngayon nga, mayroon akong demolition order, no? Closure order, which is i-implement natin ito as
Mayor,
soon as possible.
I'm not only concentrating on this one of West Cove. How about other establishments, Mayor? Yung mga violators na binabanggit po ng Penro kanina, there are complaints that the local government unit issued the permits to build, occupy. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, but some of those are issued by an ACC, no? Environmental Compliance Certificate, no?
Bibigyan ng ICC, sinasabi ng Penro. violator nga at binigyan ng notice of violation.
Yung iba, may titulo yan. No? Especially sa northern side, na pag-aari ng mga Tirol, Sarabias,
We're not
and
talking
curfews,
of
no? So,
Pero Mayor, di ba, policy yan na pag walang ECC ang establishment, hindi dapat mabigyan ng permit to operate yan. That's a prerequisite eh. Kasi meron din, I've had experience that tinatanong talaga ng LGU, may ECC ba yung ano nyon? Yan ang unang-unang kinukuha ng isang establishment bago, lalo na dito sa tourism, nalagyan mo ng malaking hotel, bago po mabibigyan ng mayor's permit. Now, accordingly, katabi ko na yun yung RD, marami sa mga establishments ay walang ECC. Pero meron po silang mayor's permit. How can we how can we reconcile that, Mayor?
yung issuance po kasi ng business permit to operate or mayor's permit, no? Dumadaan yan sa tamang proseso eh. Let's say the building permit, andoon. The zoning clearance, may mga prerequisites po yan na sinusunod bago mag-issue ng mayor's permit to operate ang local chief executive. Kasi hindi naman po makapag-issue ang local chief executive kung hindi nakapasa sa zoning, sa building officials, sa barangay, kasi dumadaan rin yan kumukuha rin sila ng barangay clearances, no? So, yun po ang binabasihan ng local chief executive pag nag-issue ng permit.
Opo,
Merong
pero
kompleto
ang ibig mo sabihin, hindi sa inyong pananaw, ay hindi kailangan ng ECC. Kasi tinext ako ni Bistek, ni Mayor Herbert ng Quezon City, sabi niya, hindi dapat mag-issue ng local permit kung walang ECC from the DNR. So, I'm asking, are you exempt? Is it a different country here in the town of Malay? You may have different proceedings or processes. I'm asking now, do you require an ECC before giving out the building permit at the very least?
Yeah, yung
Mr.
mga
Mayor,
big,
just to give
okay.
an additional information, we look at your website ng municipality, Malay, Aklan, ECC is not a requirement before issuance of mayor's permit and business permit. Yun po yung nakalagay sa online, sa ano nyo, sa
kasi
website.
yun ang requirement ng kasi ECC is from the national government na hiwalay sa ng local government. But
you cannot issue a building permit without ECC, di ba? Kailangan kini-clear muna ng DNR, di ba?
Madam Chair, baka we can ask DILG kung ano ang policy pagdating dito dun sa ECC.
Ma'am, ito pong Boracay ay protected area. So it is a requirement na may ECC bago bigyan ng permit ng mag-business.
You do with the local government that doesn't require an ECC?
Well, ma'am, actually, ma'am, I have created a task force to investigate starting 2007. First is, of course, to formulate policies, guidelines, in order to have good local governance in managing Boracay. And then secondly, to determine accountabilities and possible culpabilities of local government officials who may have been remiss in their job, why we have this mess right now. So, tuloy po
because
yung
sinabi nila na they don't need to have an ECC to issue a building permit in the local level. So, what do you think of that? Is that reasonable?
No, ma'am, it's not reasonable.
So, what is their violation if they do that? What do you do if they do that?
Well, ma'am, they have so many options. We can, after finishing the investigation, we can file charges for negligence or whatever misfeasance, malfeasance, and we will have the ombudsman to help us on this, to determine the appropriate.
So, the ombudsman has to do it or you can do it on your own?
Ma'am, for the DILG, yung amin pong disciplinary, through the president po yun, yung kumbaga, the president can actually dismiss, suspend the governors can do to the mayors, but we don't have direct to the mayors. So we have to solicit the help of the ombudsman.
Madam Chair, may I just add, I just got the information today, just now. There are 173 establishments, big establishments, operating without ECC. 173. This is the list that I just got from the DNR.
Madam Chair.
So, somebody's raising the hand. You're the Torella.
Torbella po.
Can you introduce yourself? I cannot read.
Yes, I am Metodio Torbella, the Environmental Management Bureau Director. For the record, Madam Senator, prior to the issuance of an environmental compliance certificate to any proposed project, aside from giving also some project description, including the environmental setting of the area, this is a must requirement. A proof of authority over the project site, that is the land title, lease agreement, or the absolute deed of sale. So it is true that Senator Soberi, including Senator Villanueva and the other guy there, stated among others that a lot of establishment here in Boracay operating without an ECC. That's for the record.
Violation of the law? Isn't that a violation of the law?
Yes.
What are the concrete actions that you are doing with this in this regard, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, Region 6 has already issued several notices of violation. And in fact, some of those have already been elevated to the Pollution Adjudication Board for possible closure.
Secretary Simatu, looks like DNR, sorry to say, has really been very remiss in its duty. If establishments in Boracay are operating without ECCs and bago lang po kayo, but really there's been grave sins of omission.
Ma'am, may respectfully explain this. One of the weakest link of the DNR is enforcement of environmental laws. The EMB that is supposed to be taking charge of this is situated in Iloilo City. There is no EMB in Senro and Penro. So nobody will be interested to come here because that's not, the Senros and the Penros are only performing duties in land titling and forestry law. They don't have anything to do with EMB. So what I did is to restructure the organization of the DNR by putting somebody in the Penro and Senro EMB personnel. And at the same time, sometimes the EMB are not being respected by people. So I hired 140 lawyers, Your Honor, to be placed one each in this Senro, in the community. So we have already a lawyer here in Boracay now and the Senro. That's why I told them to go around and show that you enforce the environmental laws. Now, that is really one of the problems of the DNR, Your Honor, the enforcement capability. So I was even proposing a bureau of the DNR for enforcement purposes. And in fact, if I will, because of the situation what happened here in Boracay, this is probably a wake-up call. The enforcement capability is really very lacking in DNR.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Secretary. Tulungan niyo po kami, na tulungan kayo na magkaroon kayo ng ngipin at pangil para po ipatupad ang ating mga batas, clean air, clean water, solid waste. Ano po yung polisiya o batas na ipapasa namin kaagad para po mapatibay. Pero sapat na po yung batas, strict na po yung mga batas, may mga penalties po, may punitive action na po eh. At maliban po din yung ombudsman, si Deputy Ombudsman Mosquera, meron tayong environmental ombudsman para po ang mga lokal na pamahalaan ay matatakot na hindi magpatupad ng ating environmental laws. So kung di pa po sapat yan, ano pa ang aming kayang gawin para magkaroon ng lakas loob ang DNR, ang EMB na paipatupad yung mga batas na ginagawa po namin? What is it that we can do? Apart from finance, funding you, how? PS, MOE, or new policies, creation of what? That bureau for what? For implementation? I don't understand. Oo.
Maybe to add to that, Mr. Secretary, do we need to legislate the creation of a new bureau? Couldn't it be done on the administrative level, on your level, or the President's level?
Just a legal department to to prosecute, di ba? Kasi sometimes there's no legal department to prosecute. Do you have a legal department to prosecute?
Yes, Your Honor, we have the the Pollution Adjudication Board that gives judgment to some pollution violators. We have a quasi, Your Honor. But I mean, when you go to the provinces, really, if there are some environment violations in a town or in a wala nang nakikiano dyan. So these are the things that I would like to request. If we cannot, I can probably start a unit for enforcement. But the question is, I need people. For example, Your Honor, in one province, I have only 2 senros. I have only 2 senros in a province composed of 14 to 20 municipalities. And nobody is minding environmental problems in the municipality, except that in some municipalities, they have their municipal environment office. But what I mean is that if given additional personnel, authority to hire additional personnel, then I will really start with the organization of an enforcement bureau, Your Honor.
Maybe you can do an enforcement bureau where they can travel from places to places. Kasi mahirap din yung naandun na lang sa isang lugar tapos makakasabuat din. Wala rin yun, di ba?
Suggest also, Madam Chair.
Dapat it's a roving enforcement. If you have problem here, they go here and enforce if you have problem in other places.
Maybe,
Parang
Madam Chair,
reporting to you.
I can recommend also that you tap the DILG. Nandyan si Secretary Anyo, General Anyo, to help you with the police force as members of the task force, parang deputized ng DNR. Yung matitino, boss, dapat matitino lagay natin dyan. Kasi malaking, alam mo, environmental degradation, those who degrade the environment are not only illegal loggers or illegal miners, these are also rich individuals, and we need good people on the field.
Madam Chair, per the suggestion of Secretary Simatu on the creation of an entity, not necessarily a bureau, within the DNR for the strict and effective implementation of all our environmental laws. First, the laws are already so strong. We just need more people with more political will. But if you need that, we will give it to you para wala na po kayong dahilan na hindi mapatupad. Give me whatever is needed sa plantilla of Adidas PS. I will help you with DBM and we will fund it in the you request for it. Wag muna, hindi ko pa nabibigay eh. You request for it, you put the PS sa inyong NEP submission for 2019 budget at magkano po yung budgetary allocation. At make sure may nakaabang na dyan mga nag-a-apply o mga tao kayo. Pangalawa po ay ano ba ang mandato ng mga taong yon? Monitoring, supervision, oversight. But more than that, implementation and enforcement. So clear po yan monitoring, oversight, supervision, implementation, enforcement. Punishment. Yun. So lahat po yun. Wala na pong dahilan na hindi papatupad. Maliban dyan, maganda po yung suhestyon ni Senator Subiri na si General Anyo, dalawa naman kayo, mga general, ay, di ba, iron fist yan si General Anyo? Iron fist ka ba? Sige. So, mag-create kayo ng MOA, I don't know, task force environment. Save, wag nang Boracay lang, save Philippines, implement lang the 3, air, water, sea. We will go Manila Bay, Pasig River, Laguna Lake, lahat. So, i-create the task force at lahat naman ng mga lokal na pamahalaan, matatakot magpasuspindi sa DILG. Pangatlo, isasama ko pa sa inyo, ombudsman. si Deputy Ombudsman Gerard Mosquera na merong kaming tinatag na task force sa ecological solid waste management na papapuntahin ko dito para makita kung ini-implement. I haven't even gotten to RA 9003. I want to see how they segregate waste at source, recycle, and compost here in the 3 barangays. So, yun po. So, suggestion lang po para hindi lang puro tayo talk lang talk, may solusyon po. Sa NEP po ninyo, lagay na po nyo yung request nyo. Magkano at ilang tao. Pangalawa po, mag-MOA na kayo. Talagang matibay na MOA ng kasama na ang OMB. Only if you agree. I'm not commanding po. I'm just suggesting. Kayong tatlo po with Mosquera. And then, third, whatever else that you need from us na policy, kung kailangan pa ng batas, pero hindi na sa tingin ko, we can do it for you. So yun lang po ang nakikita kong solusyon na immediate. But those without permits and without ECC, General Anyo would know to do. Demolish na natin. And then, it's just a matter of calling the office of the president. They can sign it on Monday if it was pending from the previous administration. So you show an example. So everybody's scared. I mean, I might say more things that I should say. We're on Facebook Live and live on TV. But we should, kailangan takot na pinapatupad ang batas. Yun lang naman po thank you. I know that General Simato can do that.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
We recognize Secretary Anyo.
Yes, actually ma'am, we are already coordinating and actually meron na po kaming mga effort and plan of actions. Kaya nga po hihingi namin yung closure po a number of days because this would be a massive demolition of all these violators. For the meantime, kahit wala po yung batas na yan, it's just a matter of deputation. Like for example, the DNR nag-deputize si AP about anti-logging operations in the whole of Mindanao. So we can do that immediately. We have the package. We have law enforcement agencies under the ILG and even the AP. But really, what is good at this discussion is nakaipon-ipon po rito lahat ngayon at nakita natin yung over the years ng mga violations nangyayari because akala ng isa, trabaho nyo to. Akala naman to isa, trabaho na to. But really, for the local government, trabaho nila mag-enforce lahat din ng national laws, including the DNR environmental protection laws, pati ECC. Kanila pong, because that's the local government code. You are responsible for your municipality or province.
Madam
And
Chair.
they can call up the ILG, the police, in enforcing that law.
Madam Chair,